leadership plays a critical role for students, educators, and families. It's not an easy task, but thankfully there are several principals across our state who excel at the job. Welcome to Education Matters, presented by the Public School Forum of North Carolina. I'm your host for the week, Sarah Howell, and this week we are joined by some outstanding educators. Your 2026 to 27 North Carolina Wells Fargo Regional Principals of the Year. They've been recognized for their strong leadership and commitment to student success. And today, they will share some insight on how they're striving to lead the best possible learning environments for students and positive work environments for educators. Joining us today, we have Dr. Mariah Walker, Wake Young Women's Leadership Academy and your North Carolina Principal of the Year. We have Kelly Flora from Nags Head Elementary School and your Northeast Principal of the Year. We have Dr. Marlow Artis, Craven Early College High School and Southeast Principal of the Year. Dr. Latricia Allen from John Griffin Middle School and your Sandhills Principal of the Year. Dustin Farmer from Ashe County High School and your Northwest Principal of the Year. Jennifer McBrayer from Chase Middle School, serving as your Western Principal of the Year. And Deborah Brown from the Explorer School, your Charter School Principal of the Year. Welcome, y'all. Dr. Allen, I wonder if you could talk a bit more about how you create a positive and effective learning environment for every student in your building. What does that look like to you?
Well, I think it starts with the premise that you want every student to feel safe, valued, and connected. And that starts with relationships. I'm a highly visible principal. And so I think many of us can agree with that as well. I'm hardly in my office. I am in classrooms, in the cafeterias, on the bus lot, at the games, because I truly value the importance of relationships. The students are going to learn from you if they see that you really care about them. And so it starts with those relationships, but also having high expectations paired with high support. We know that there are demands of standardized testing and there are expectations that schools need to work towards, but we can only get there if we start with that level of trust, relationships, and critical support for our students and for our staff as well. But I want for our teachers, our staff, and our communities and our students to come to school and feel that this is a safe place. This is a place where I know I'm valued, I'm loved, and I want to be here.
Awesome. Dustin, what about you? Other side of the state, but what does that look like for you, a positive learning environment?
Yeah, I want to echo what Dr. Allen said. Just it starts from the moment they enter the building, welcoming in, where it's whether it's the AP in the back or me in the front, just a good morning, letting them know that we want them here at school, that we're excited. If they've not been here in a few days, that we recognize that and we say welcome back. And then it's being in as Dr. Allen said, it's being visible, being in the hallway. In a high school environment can be a little bit different. Sometimes kids will look you in the eye, sometimes they turn and go in the other direction. But either way, it is welcoming them, being in the classroom, letting them see you out of the ordinary. So I think you have to be willing to put yourself out there. I think back, I probably haven't done it quite as much at the high school, but I slept on the roof at the middle school. I did some really stupid stuff just so that kids could see that I'm human as well, and that I'm willing to go to whatever length to try to encourage them to be their very best. And so, just recently, before we had our tests, our EOCs, I went into each classroom and I kind of challenged them. I said, number one, you're doing this test for yourself. Number two, you're doing it from the adult for the adult in front of you. And number three, you're doing it for the school because we want the school to be the very best it can be. And so they rose to the occasion this time, scored the best they've been at the high school in a long, long time. So um, kids are willing. I always say they don't know, they don't care what you know until they know you care. And so I feel like they know we care, but we need to make sure they know we care. And then beyond that, learning kind of takes care of itself, I feel like, when you do those kind of things.
Absolutely. So we just heard Dustin, you play a lot of roles, even sleeping on the roof at your school. Deb, I know you've served in a lot of roles as an educator, and how has that impacted your approach to school leadership?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I had about 20 years in the classroom before I moved into administration. So one of my goals was always to be the administrator that I needed, right? To really recognize the kinds of things that could be impactful and supportive. But my work with NCAT, with the North Carolina Association for the Advancement of Teaching, I had 8 years on the Governor's Teacher Advisory Council, and then most recently working with EPFP Fellowship has really helped me understand there's a David Mamet play, Glengarry Glen Ross, where the tagline is always be closing. And the idea that advocacy is every day. Advocacy is in every moment, every encounter. You have an opportunity to speak for your students, to be that voice, to speak up for what teachers need, to make sure that those perspectives are represented at the tables and in the rooms where the decisions are being made. And I think that those roles, apart from the things that I've done in regular education leadership, have really helped me see that importance of advocacy.
Yeah, what perspective that brings. Jennifer, same question to you. You filled multiple roles. How has that informed your approach?
I have, and I use every role I've ever had every day. I was involved in instructional technology for a long time, and so sometimes people come to me, "Hey, can you fix this?" As far as the technology, but it also informed my leadership in terms of I approach things very much as a coach. I'm all about making sure that I provide support. Of course, my years in the classroom before that, I was a math teacher at the high school level. And so I had to learn how to be patient and explain things in multiple ways. And that still serves me well in the role I am now, so that if I don't immediately connect with somebody on what my expectations are, I can try again. Um, and just then I've had multiple roles as an administrator at the high school, at the elementary level, and now at the middle school level, and all of it informs how I respond to various situations, how I respond to accountability, and how we approach those things, and improve our performance from year to year. So it's a blessing to me that I do have all of those different experiences, because it does help make me stronger, I feel.
And I was going to say, Jennifer, that was so beautifully stated because it's the truth. Every single thing, every experience, every hardship, every victory that we have been through has shaped us and has made us more in tune with being a problem solver. How do we get to the bottom of this? I've dealt with this before. Let me, so it has, like, every single thing. And it's brought us all to this beautiful moment in time. And here we sit. So, I bring on the challenges, I bring on the hardships because they're all learning experiences. Everything is brought to me for a problem on down the road. And that's kind of how I try to look at things. Like, what am I going to learn from this? What am I going to take away from this experience that's going to help me further down the road?
Kelly, what's your phrase? Everything is.
Do what now?
What's your phrase? Everything is
I don't know. Everything
figure
is.
outable. Figure outable.
That's right. I do have that in my office. Everything is figure outable.
That's awesome. I agree. Just got to get the right people in there. Um, Dr. Walker, what does it mean to you to serve as an educator in the community where you grew up?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I feel like, the privilege of serving in my community has just taught me that life and education isn't like one individual separate experience. It's all connected together. And so really reflecting on how each chapter makes the book, right? And so every single chapter has its own kind of like characters, its own storyline, its own rise to action and resolution. But all of those chapters make the book. And so I feel like being able to serve in my community is such a blessing. I have this proverb that I grew up learning, and it says it's the concept of Sankofa, which means you have to go back to fly in your future. So always going back to those beginnings, those roots, that history of my community to allow me to better serve where I am. Raleigh looked very different. You've heard me, many people have heard me say before, it looked very different than the way it does now growing up. There are a lot of dirt roads, a lot of trees. North Hills was definitely not as glamorous as it is now. But having the memory and just really across the whole state, right? Like has really helped me to be mindful of where we've come from as a state and where we're going, and how progress can be so eloquent and so beautiful, but it's also challenging at times, right? Like keeping up with signs of the times, moving and being fast paced. And many elders in the community have let me know that they don't always love all the newness and things like that. So I think having that community connection and reality not only it's an opportunity to help people continue to move forward, but also such a beautiful reminder of the value and constantly looking back to see where we've come from and all the beauty and where we've been.
After the break, we will continue our conversation with the 2026 North Carolina Principals of the Year. Welcome back. Let's hop right back into our conversation with the 2026 North Carolina Principals of the Year. Right, this is open to anybody. I would love to know what you might want someone who's pursuing a career in education to know.
That was very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Thanks,
I
Marlow.
would say it really was because we're not on an island. We have to work together. That collective efficacy is so important. All of us working in partnership. One thing that I would like individuals to know who are interested in working here in North Carolina is that North Carolina's children are all the same across the state. They all want to be loved and respected and valued. And some of them don't have the resources that others have, but that does not mean they don't deserve the opportunity and they don't deserve our best. I mean, I've worked in Sampson County, I worked in Craven County, I worked in Cumberland County, I worked in Chapel Carver City Schools, and I've worked with so many other districts across the state. Our children are the same, but we have to make certain that we see that and believe that. And so many times, because of a tax bracket or these resources, we have different perceptions of how it looks for our children. And we really needed to say, how are we all going to give them everything that we can, give them our absolute best, because that is what they deserve.
I would just like to share for anyone thinking about becoming an educator. It's just the power of one, and I love a story, so I won't tell the whole story, but just one little line is that all it takes is one student, one teacher, one classroom, one district, one school, one state, one nation to change the perspective of learning and to change the outcome of our future. And what a beautiful opportunity to be that one and to be a part of something so much bigger. I like education is the field that touches all fields. Every doctor, every surgeon, every astronaut was once a student in a classroom and once had a principal, once had a teacher. So to be a part of something that truly touches everything and leaves a light that cannot be measured is such an amazing and beautiful honor to be a part of. So I would just say that there's magic happening in education, and it's just so exciting and almost electrifying, right? To be a part of that kind of magic. And so I would say that, yes, you will read a lot of things that tell you all the reasons that it's hard. But oh my goodness, there are a million reasons to be a part of something so magical and something so precious that has really been going on for years, and to be a part of that story.
Well, and the rewards for that are endless. Everything they said, and then, just know that you're going to feel the rewards if you open yourself to all the things that we've discussed here, because it really is a beautiful thing.
I would just want to say that I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions in the systems across the state is that schools only belong to families with children enrolled. But public schools belong to all of us, right? Like we all pay property taxes in a variety of ways. We all contribute. So these schools are everyone's schools, and the success and wellness of the students, it's everyone's opportunity to be connected. So I echo getting involved, partnering. I've reached out to some grandmothers in the community and said, like, can you just come stand outside at carpool and just be a grandma who might give a student a hug, having, men in the community come in and just be an example for some of our young men. Just the opportunities are endless, but public schools are everyone's. We all contribute in one way or another. And so the success and wellness really belongs to all of us. And what a beautiful, beautiful opportunity it would be to see that play out and live in the breath of every public school across our state. I mean, truly, there is more than enough room for everyone to volunteer.
Correct. And just to piggyback off of that, coming from an elementary lens, we host events all through the year. We have math night and bingo and Title I night. We have so many things. Just come to an event, come hang out with us for an hour. I guarantee you'll want to come back.
I think at the middle school level, we've been working really hard because I was at the high school level and then I was at the elementary level. And one of the things that I saw immediately was that parents have this fear of middle school sometimes because it is a different level of communication, it is a different level of experience. So just making sure that we have that open door policy and families know we're here for you and we're here to support you. And nothing has changed in that just because your child went from elementary to middle school. We still want the best for your child. Come in anytime. I'll give you a tour. I'll take you to a classroom. Just the simplest communication sometimes of just being available is, I think, sometimes the most important.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. This has been really phenomenal. We've learned so much about our schools, so much about your communities, and we're lucky to have y'all as our principals of the year. Thank you. This week, our final word will come from the principals of the year themselves. So, what would you like people to know about your school or perhaps North Carolina's local public schools in general? Kelly, we'll start with you.
I think after our conversations here today, it's clear that it's every child, every day. I feel that is something that we all put forward. Leading with purpose, teaching with heart, we are stronger together. And I just, every child, every day. I think that is the key to our job and our success every single day.
Right, Dr. Walker, what about you?
Yes, I think what I would want people to know about just my school first is that it's an amazing opportunity to elevate the opportunities for young women and to provide instructionally challenging, rigorous opportunities in, fields that women are often not represented. And so I'm just amazed at the way the young women lean into leadership and just really lean into being challenged academically. When I think about public schools across our state, I would definitely keep it into kind of like my three things, which is people, purpose, and passion. So recognizing that people are always going to come first, people over policy, and making sure that there's intention and awareness around that, and that we are purposeful educators, purposeful parents, purposeful community members, and a purposeful state to celebrate the future that we have of students. And then leaning into the amazing passion that we have to make North Carolina public schools the best in the nation, and also making our state the absolute best that it could be. So I think public education is powered by people, grounded in purpose, and definitely rooted and sustained in passion. And that's what makes us extraordinary here in North Carolina.
Dustin, what about you?
I knew I was gonna have to follow her. No, I love the work that's going on in public education in North Carolina. I feel like it's moving in the right direction, and specifically in Ashe County schools. As I mentioned, I'm a product of Ashe County, and I love our students. I love our community. I love our families. And I love Ashe County High School, and that we have finally, you know, last year was the first year we achieved 90% graduation rate, first time in school history, and so we are doing some great things in Ashe County schools, and it starts at home. It starts with our elementary folks, and it runs right through the middle school, and then we are blessed to be at the high school level and receive those students, and it is our job to prepare them. And I feel like we're doing a good job, especially in North Carolina, but in Ashe County to prepare them for whatever's next, whether that be college, a trade of some kind, or they go right into work, or they go into the military, which we had a couple students do. So it is our job to get them prepared, and I feel like we're doing a good job of that.
In North Carolina, I'm a true believer that we have the best and the most premier professionals and educators across the state of North Carolina. They come in and we see the hard work that they commit to on a day to day basis through PLCs, engagement with students, the community stakeholders as well. We see firsthand that they are committed to student success and they do it day in and day out, challenges, sacrifices, and all. So we truly do have the best educators in our state, and it's our goal to continue to support them for what they do for our kids because our kids truly deserve it.
I am so privileged to serve as the principal of Craven Early College in New Bern. We're celebrating 20 years of excellence this year, which is really, really exciting when you just think about the historic achievement that has taken place and the transformative experiences that students have had for 20 years. North Carolina leads in the nation as it relates to our early colleges. I mean, we have individuals all over the nation who come and visit our early colleges. So it's something to lift up, but not just early colleges. I mean, we have so many dynamic programs and opportunities in schools in our entire state. And each and every day, we have dedicated individuals who are giving it all that they have on behalf of their students. And we have the great fortune as Regional Principals of the Year to be highlighted and to tell our stories. But there are so many stories that we don't hear. But I'm inspired by the educators who serve in our state and who are dedicated to making certain that our students have what they need. And so it's really a humbling experience to be with this great group, but it's also a humbling experience to be a North Carolina educator. It is really something that I do not take lightly. The chance to serve in our state, and we are really fortunate we have so many fantastic things happening here in North Carolina.
Well, I'm just very thankful to be a principal in my community. It turns out CHASE is actually an acronym. When you see it in print, it's all in capital letters because each of those letters stands for a town in our community. And so what that tells me is not only am I the principal of this school serving my students, that leadership actually extends out into the community. And so I want to leverage that leadership to make sure that I provide every child with an opportunity to succeed and grow. And I also want to advocate for the things that will help us do that. And I want everybody to know that if they come through these doors or the doors of any public school in North Carolina, that they're able to get quality education and be successes in their community.
Yeah, this is the 30th anniversary of the signing of charter school law in North Carolina. And Exploris is one of those original schools. So for 30 years, we have been empowering students to improve their world, starting with our very youngest learners. The idea that you can make a difference right now. You don't have to wait until you're in middle school, and middle schoolers have to wait till high school, and high school is getting you ready for college, and etc. We want kids to know that they can start making a difference at this moment. And we really want to be living into the mission of Exploris's public charters, which were to be innovative laboratory schools that would share out and scale out best practices so we could be the rising tide to lift all the education boats in public education in North Carolina.
Thank you for taking the time to learn and think about education with us. That's all for today, and we will see you next week.